what's going on, guys? It's your boy Leviathan. So you want to play Arcana? Now with Arcana, it's a very awesome class to play with. So far, I've been enjoying it every single day, and I'm probably gonna be switching that over to my main, just because I love the playstyle on it. Arcana is a very unique character in my opinion in terms of dishing out damage. A very good playstyle in terms of how random it is. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people like to dish out a certain amount of damage, but in my opinion, it's just fun, especially with her identity, it being complete RNG. I feel that it makes me enjoy the times when I can dish out huge amounts of damage. But with Arcana, it's actually very easy to do that. Again, it is complete RNG depending on the cards that you get in her deck, which is her identity skill. It's a deck of cards. In that deck of cards, each skill or card has its own ability.
So this is actually going to be the build that I'm going to be using today, guys. If you guys want to see an actual full build of this, just leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, and I'll get that started for you guys. Again, I really appreciate you guys watching this, but let's get into it.
So one unique thing about Arcana is going to be her card deck. Now her card deck is completely random, complete RNG, so any of these cards that come up are just at random. There's no way to make one proc more than another, and sometimes you can get the same one right after using it. Again, just completely random, and that's kind of what makes Arcana be able to deal okay damage and then extreme damage, because if you get the RNG gods on your side, you can be dealing huge amounts of damage. Now her card deck is going to be located at the bottom right here. If you just go ahead and click that, it's going to head and get you into all the cards available that you can get for your Arcanist. Now card number one is going to be Three-Headed Snake. Now with Three-Headed Snake, you're going to be dealing 3 times as much damage technically, in 3 directions. So with a normal right click, it's just going to be going straight, but with Three-Headed Snake activated or essentially cast, you're going to be dealing in 3 directions, and I'll go ahead and show that right now. With increased damage, and also becomes a stacking card, so any right click you do does become a stack, and it also does increase damage, which is really nice to have. Mayhem, very good card. For 30 seconds, your attack speed is going to be 3% for 4 seconds every time a skill is used, and up to a max of 15%. Especially with Arcana, so you can be casting so many skills at once, and it's nice to be able to have that attack speed of 15% once you're maxed out. Twisted Fate. For 4 seconds, your skill damage either remains the same or is 40% more. This one is going to be RNG as well, really dependent on how many skills you're casting. So when you cast this, try to do it on a red skill, especially with stacks, so you can hopefully get that 40+ damage increase. Corrosion. Gain a 30% chance of damage to a foe, plus 10% for 5 seconds for 30 seconds. So with the Ghost card, you're going to be ignoring collision with monsters, and this is basic monsters, essentially not bosses, so you'll just be phasing through them. You also get an increased move speed, which is the main plus of this, but you also get decreased damage from foes, so it's pretty useful just to be able to negate some damage. Let's go on to the next. With Call. Now Call is going to be one of your main skills that you're going to want to cast, especially with red skills. Now for 4 seconds, crit rate of all skill attacks plus 100%, and crit damage plus 50% when they hit. Now with Call, especially paired with your awakening skill, Deathbound, you can deal heavy amounts of damage, and I'll go ahead and show that, especially the difference of just using the awakening skill on its own with Call, and then without. So again, a very useful card, and I like to hold off on this, especially if I'm gonna be building stacks with my blue skills. Now balance. For 30 seconds, your stacking skills are enhanced. So essentially what this does is, instead of your blue skill doing 1 stack or 2 stacks, it's going to be doing a total of 3. So like Quadra Accelerate, it's going to be doing 2 stacks when you normally do it. But with balance, you're going to be actually doing 3 stacks, so you get your stacks up quicker, especially paired with your red skills. You can be dishing out a good amount of damage or getting that stack up very quickly. And for 30 seconds, you can easily cast your blue skills very quickly to get that stack up and deal that damage. Now with Judgment, for 4 seconds, rune skills always trigger the 4 stack effect, regardless of the actual number of stacks cast. So with this one, essentially if you have a certain amount of stacks on enemies, it's going to deal the 4 stack total for 4 seconds. So no matter what you have on that actual enemy, it's going to do the full damage of essentially you having 4 stacks. Now with the moon engraving, cooldowns are going to be reduced by 10% and your MP recovery speed is plus 20 for 30 seconds. Very useful skill. I always use this if I ever have it in my identity gauge or as my card to select. I always just cast it since I want to be able to get either Coal, Mayhem, or even 3-headed snake. Now Star is another very unique skill. So with Star, you're going to be actually recovering 100% of your MP. So if you're basically down on MP and you're just waiting for the MP to cast a skill, this would just bring you straight up to 100% regardless of where you were at, and also reduce the cooldowns of your skills by 15%, except for your awakening, movement, and stand-up skills. Again, it's just going to be for your basic skills, but again, that 15% is very, very useful. Now Royal is another good card. Now this fills up your empty card slots. So if you just have Royal, or this is your first card and you cast it, you will instantly fill up both card slots. And if you have both filled up now and you cast Royal, you will actually get a card just filled up for the Royal card, not your other side. You'd have to use both or have them both empty in order to get 2 cards. But again, still very useful to, especially if you get that on your first card. Now Wheel of Fortune, cooldown of the next skill would decrease by 100%. Again, just RNG, very basic. And then you have your Emperor card. Now this is going to be for the Emperor class engraving. I don't have that selected currently, but it essentially just casts damage in 14-meter radius, which is pretty useful, and I can see this being really cool in dungeons or chaos dungeons. Okay, so this is going to be the explanation of their yellow, blue, and red skills. Now again, your yellow skills, just damage, basic damage. Again, if certain skills when cast is just going to be dealing 1 single point of damage. Now with your blue skills, these are stacking effects. So when you actually cast it, you're going to see these stacks right up here, right up on top. And if you get 2 blue skills, you're going to get a total of 4. Again, you only get a total of 4. See, no more stacks essentially. And then if you want to use your red skill, which is your rune skill, to activate that damage, just cast it and boom, get increased damage. I'm going to go ahead and do that again. Okay, so again, yellow skills, just damage. Blue skills cause stacking, and I actually got lucky with the double stack right there. Boom, 1.6. Easy, high damage that you can do. Now, in terms of skill rotation, because you do need to think about that in terms of doing the most damage efficiently, you can cast these skills however you'd like, but in my opinion, the best way to do it is the way I have it set up, where I do Q, W, E, R, A, S, D, W, F, and then just go back down the line and just do that skill rotation. So I'm going to go ahead and show that real quick. Q, W, E, R, A, S, D, W, F, and then just go back down the list. Again, very simple, and I think this is the most efficient way to get these skills essentially max stacks and highest damage.